President Trump's approval rating, according to the polls that were released today, is at 37%, which isn't great, but that was a poll of adults. I wanted to see what kids thought of his first year in office.
It was a bright and warm afternoon in the bustling suburbs of Dallas, Texas, where a palpable sense of excitement filled the air at the small, cozy house of 8-year-old Liam. Today wasn't just another day, it was Liam's 8th birthday, a milestone that brought with it all the usual thrills and joy. He had been counting down the days, eagerly anticipating the celebration, the cake, the presents, and the time spent surrounded by the warmth of his family and friends. Little did Liam know, this would turn into the most unforgettable day of his young life. Liam wasn't just an ordinary child. From a very young age, he had faced challenges that many adults could never imagine. Diagnosed with a rare and life-threatening brain disorder as a toddler, Liam required constant medical attention, numerous hospital visits, and endured exhausting treatments. His condition caused both physical and emotional pain, but through it all, Liam remained resilient, with a spirit that never seemed to waver. His family lovingly called him their little superhero, and it was a name that fit perfectly. Despite his struggles, Liam's infectious smile never dimmed, and he always approached life with unwavering positivity. One of Liam's greatest passions in life, aside from his love for his family, was his admiration for a well-known figure, Donald Trump. Liam had always been drawn to strength, and from an early age he recognized these traits in Trump. His fascination had started a couple of years ago when Liam first began watching Trump's speeches on television. He was captivated by Trump's confidence, his unwavering stance on issues, and his determination to achieve his goals. Liam memorized Trump's iconic phrases, practiced them, and proudly dressed up as the former president for Halloween one year. To Liam, Trump wasn't just a political leader, he was a symbol of strength, perseverance, and determination.
Donald Trump is all set for his second term. We can't say it'll be good, but we can say it will be entertaining. Remember those whirlwind Trump pressers from the pandemic? Well, they're back.
Qualities that Liam embodied every single day in his own life. Liam's room was a testament to his admiration. Posters of Trump adorned the walls, his bookshelf was filled with books about the former president, and there was always a red "Make America Great Again" cap nearby. It was clear that Liam's love for Trump wasn't fleeting. It was a part of who he was, and it gave him the motivation to keep going when things seemed impossible. When his parents, Sarah and James, planned Liam's birthday celebration, they knew they wanted to make it truly special, something that would take their brave little boy completely by surprise. Liam had been through so much, and they wanted to honor his strength and resilience in a way that would bring him joy. The party began like any other birthday celebration, with balloons filling the living room, colorful banners hanging from the walls, and the delightful smell of cake in the air. Friends and family arrived, each with a gift wrapped in brightly colored paper, and laughter echoed around the house as Liam eagerly tore into his presents. As Liam played with his new toys, a sudden knock at the door startled everyone. His father, James, exchanged a glance with Sarah, who gave him a quick nod. She knew that the surprise was about to unfold. James stood up and made his way to the door, where a man in a crisp suit was standing, holding a small box and a large white envelope with a seal. "Delivery for Liam," the man said with a friendly grin. James took the package and brought it inside, his eyes sparkling with excitement. "Liam, buddy, there's one more gift for you," he called out to his son, holding up the envelope. Liam's curiosity piqued, and he eagerly scrambled off the floor and raced toward his father. His small hands reached for the envelope, tearing it open with great excitement. "Open it, sweetheart," Sarah urged, her heart racing with anticipation. Liam carefully peeled the envelope open, pulling out a letter. As he began to read aloud, his voice trembled with disbelief and awe. "Dear Liam, happy 8th birthday. Mrs. Trump and I hope you enjoy this special occasion surrounded by the love of your family and friends." Liam paused, his eyes widening as he processed the words. His family held their breath, watching him closely as he continued. "We are so encouraged by the strength and determination you've shown throughout your young life, and send our love and best wishes as you continue to fight. Remember, You are never alone, and we're keeping you in our thoughts and prayers." By the time Liam finished reading, his voice cracked with emotion and his eyes welled up with tears. "Sincerely, Donald J. Trump," he whispered, almost in disbelief. For a moment, the room went silent. Liam stood still, the letter clutched in his hands as if unsure whether it was real. Then, with a look of pure joy and awe, he looked up at his parents, his face glowing. "He knows it's my birthday!" he exclaimed, his voice thick with emotion. "Yes, sweetheart, he knows," Sarah replied softly, her own eyes brimming with tears as she knelt beside him and pulled him into a warm embrace. But the surprises weren't over yet. James handed Liam a small box that had arrived along with the letter. On one side of the box, there was a gold seal, and on the other, a profile of Trump himself. With shaking hands, Liam opened the box and pulled out a stunning gold-plated coin. On one side of the coin was Trump's profile, with his name engraved beneath it, and on the other side was an inscription that read, "Stay strong, Liam. You're a fighter, and fighters always win." Liam's hands trembled as he held the coin, his smile growing wider with each passing second. The simple act of receiving this gift, the acknowledgement from someone he admired so deeply, filled him with an immense sense of pride. It was as though all the challenges he had faced, every hospital visit, every painful procedure, were suddenly a little bit easier to bear. In that moment, he felt that someone powerful, truly believed in him. Just as everyone thought the surprises had reached their peak, the doorbell rang again. This time, the expression on James's face was one of pure joy, and he couldn't help but grin as he opened the door. To everyone's shock, standing there, dressed in a sharp suit and wearing his signature confident smile, was none other than Donald Trump himself. Gasps filled the room as Liam's jaw dropped in sheer disbelief. His heart pounded in his chest as his eyes locked onto the man who had inspired him for years. "Mr. Trump!" Liam squealed, his small frame trembling with excitement and emotion. Trump stepped inside the house with a warm smile and extended his hand to Liam. "Liam, it's so good to finally meet you," Trump said, his voice warm and inviting. Liam was speechless, his face a mixture of awe and joy. Slowly, he reached up to shake Trump's hand, his voice thick with emotion. You came to see me?" he stammered. "Of course I did," Trump replied, nodding as he leaned down to Liam's level. "I heard about how strong and brave you are, and I wanted to wish you a happy birthday in person." Trump then handed Liam a small wrapped gift. "And I brought you something special, just for you." Liam eagerly tore into the wrapping paper, his eyes lighting up as he revealed a beautifully crafted model of the White House. The intricate details, the shining white facade, the tiny windows, everything about it was perfect. It was an exact replica, and Liam couldn't believe his eyes. "Thank you, Mr. Trump. This is the best birthday ever," Liam whispered, his voice filled with gratitude and awe. Trump knelt down to Liam's level, his hand resting gently on the boy's shoulder. "You know, Liam, people like you inspire me," Trump said with a warm smile. "You remind me that no matter what challenges we face, we should never give up. You're a fighter, and fighters are winners." Liam nodded, tears streaming down his face as he hugged Trump tightly. The room was silent, save for the soft sniffles of family members who had been moved by the moment. For a while, Trump stayed and chatted with Liam and his family, sharing stories and listening intently as Liam talked passionately about his love for history, politics, and his favorite subject, the presidency. The two even spent a few minutes playing with Liam's new toy cars, laughing together as they bonded over simple pleasures. Sarah watched the scene unfold, her heart swelling with gratitude and pride. She had always known that her son was special, but seeing someone like Trump take the time to acknowledge his strength and resilience in such a personal way was more than she had ever dared to hope for. Before leaving, Trump made sure to take a picture with Liam. The two of them stood together, smiling brightly, as Trump placed his arm around Liam's shoulder. "This one's for the album," Trump said with a wink, as the family beamed with joy. As Trump prepared to leave, Liam, still clutching the coin and the model White House, looked up at him with wide eyes. "Are you really leaving?" he asked. Trump smiled, nodding. "Yes, I am, but I wanted to see you first. You're more important today," he said, ruffling Liam's hair before heading for the door. As Trump stepped outside, Liam's family gathered around him, still in awe of the events that had just unfolded. "That really happened, didn't it?" Liam asked, his voice full of wonder. James laughed softly, pulling his son into a tight hug. "Yes, buddy, it really did. You deserve all of it and more," he said, his voice thick with emotion. Later that evening, as the sun began to set, Liam sat on the living room couch, the golden coin in one hand and the letter in the other. His gaze drifted out the window, his heart full. He had always admired Donald Trump, but now, after meeting him in person, that admiration had grown tenfold. It wasn't just about politics or speeches. It was about feeling seen, feeling heard, and knowing that someone truly believed in him. In the days that followed, the story of Trump's surprise visit spread quickly. News outlets were eager to report on the incredible birthday surprise, and soon Liam's face was plastered across local news. His smile was contagious as he held up the coin, recounting the moment he met his hero. Messages of support poured in from friends, family, and even strangers who were touched by the story of a young boy who had faced so much, but still held on to hope and joy. But for Liam, it wasn't about the attention or the gifts. It was about the moment Trump had looked him in the eyes and told him that he was a fighter. It was about feeling that his struggles mattered, that his courage was recognized and honored. As he lay in bed that night, his new model White House perched proudly on his nightstand, Liam closed his eyes, a smile still lingering on his lips. He knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, he could face them. He wasn't alone, not with his family by his side, not with the words of his hero echoing in his heart. In the weeks and months that followed, Liam's story became a source of inspiration. Letters poured in from across the country, from strangers who shared their own stories of overcoming challenges, as well as others who simply wanted to express their admiration for Liam's strength and positivity. His school even organized a special assembly to celebrate him, and his classmates and teachers created a giant birthday card filled with colorful drawings and heartfelt messages. Liam was met with a standing ovation when he entered the auditorium, and his heart swelled with pride. Sarah and James couldn't help but reflect on the incredible journey their son had been through. They remembered the sleepless nights in hospital rooms, the moments of doubt and fear, and the countless prayers they had whispered for their little boy. Seeing Liam shine so brightly now was more than they had ever dared to hope for. As the weeks turned into months, the memory of Liam's special birthday remained a cherished moment, not just for him, but for everyone who had witnessed the incredible surprise. It became a story shared by many when they needed a reminder of the power of kindness, strength, and hope. And for Liam, it was only the beginning. As time went on, Liam's life gradually returned to its familiar rhythms. His parents were quick to notice that something inside him had shifted. Though his battle with his illness was far from over, there was a lightness to his spirit now, an unshakable belief that no challenge was too great for him to overcome. That belief had blossomed in the wake of his birthday surprise, and it was evident in every step he took. His schoolwork had always been a challenge, but now Liam seemed to approach each task with renewed energy. He found joy in learning and, perhaps most importantly, in sharing what he had learned with others. His teachers marveled at his focus, his ability to engage with his studies despite the difficulties he faced. They had always known that Liam was intelligent and capable, but now his enthusiasm was contagious. In the mornings, Sarah would drop Liam off at school, and they would stand outside for a moment before he went in. "Have a great day, buddy," Sarah would say, her voice full of warmth. Liam would grin, always ready with his response. "I'm going to make it a good one, Mom." Those words, simple as they were, had become a mantra for him, a daily reminder that he could take on whatever the day threw his way. One afternoon, Liam came home with an excited look on his face, his backpack bouncing as he rushed inside. "Mom, Dad, guess what?" he said, barely able to contain his excitement. Sarah and James exchanged a curious look as they watched him hop from one foot to the other. "What's up, Liam?" James asked, setting aside the paper he had been reading. "I got picked to give a speech at the school assembly," Liam exclaimed, his eyes sparkling with joy. "Really?" Sarah asked, surprised and proud. "What will you talk about?" Liam paused for a moment, as if thinking carefully. "I'm going to tell them about my hero, Donald Trump," he said confidently, "how he never gives up, and how that's what I'm going to do too." Sarah's heart swelled with pride. She'd always known that Liam had a way of inspiring others, but hearing him express his admiration for his hero in such a thoughtful way was new. She had always encouraged Liam to follow his dreams, but now it seemed like he was finding his own path to inspire others in return. When the day of the assembly arrived, Liam stood in front of his schoolmates, his hands slightly shaking but his voice strong. He spoke about how he admired Donald Trump for his strength and resilience, drawing parallels to his own experiences. "Even when things get tough," Liam said, looking out at the sea of faces, "we can't give up. We have to keep going, just like my hero, and just like all of us here, we're all fighters." The room fell silent as Liam's words sank in. The students listened intently, and by the time he finished, there wasn't a dry eye in the auditorium. The applause that followed was thunderous, not just for the courage Liam had shown, but for the wisdom he had shared at such a young age. The news of Liam's speech quickly spread throughout the school. His classmates looked at him with new respect, and teachers spoke with admiration about his bravery. Liam, though still humble as ever, felt a deep sense of fulfillment. He knew he was making a difference, not just in his own life, but in the lives of those around him. One evening, as Liam was finishing his homework at the kitchen table, he glanced up at the picture of Trump that hung on the wall next to his desk. His fingers absent-mindedly traced the outline of the frame as he thought about how much had changed since that unforgettable birthday. The letter from Trump, the visit, and the words of encouragement from his hero had all left an indelible mark on his soul. But something had shifted in Liam's heart. It wasn't just about admiration anymore, it was about paying it forward. He wanted to inspire others, just as Trump had inspired him. As if to reinforce his newfound purpose, Liam's school principal called Sarah with exciting news. "Liam has been selected to be the student ambassador for an upcoming charity event," the principal said. "It's a fundraiser for children with chronic illnesses, and we think he would be a perfect representative." Sarah's heart swelled with pride. She knew this was a big step for Liam, an opportunity to not only give back, but also share his story with a larger audience. It was yet another moment in his journey that was beginning to take shape in ways they hadn't imagined. At the charity event, Liam stood proudly in front of a crowd of strangers, holding the microphone with ease. "I've been through a lot," he began, his voice steady, "but I know that no matter what happens, I'll always keep fighting, and I want to help others do the same." His words resonated deeply with the audience, many of whom had never heard such wisdom from a young child. Parents and children alike came up to Liam afterward, expressing their gratitude and telling him how much his courage meant to them. Liam, though only 8 years old, had become a beacon of hope for others. Someone who had faced unimaginable challenges yet had never lost sight of the power of hope, determination, and kindness. Back at home, Sarah and James watched their son with awe. The boy they had raised, the one who had always shown an unbreakable will, was blossoming into someone who could inspire entire communities. It was humbling to witness the profound impact he was having on others, and they both knew that this was just the beginning. Liam's journey wasn't just about surviving, it was about thriving. With each day that passed, he learned more about himself, his strength, and his potential. And though there were still hard days ahead, he had discovered that with the right mindset, anything was possible. The love and encouragement from his family, along with the belief of his hero, had become a foundation upon which Liam could build the rest of his life. He knew that whatever came next, he was ready to face it. After all, fighters never give up. And so, as he lay in bed one night, looking up at the ceiling, Liam couldn't help but smile. The future stretched out before him, filled with endless possibilities. He was no longer just the boy who admired a public figure from afar. He was a young man with dreams of his own, dreams that would take him places he had never imagined. The journey ahead was unknown, but Liam was ready. He had learned that with strength, resilience, and a heart full of hope, there was no limit to what he could achieve. And as he closed his eyes, the words of his hero echoed in his mind. "Stay strong, Liam. You're a fighter, and fighters always win."